The exploration ship Horizon was humanity's boldest journey. Setting out to explore uncharted star systems deep within the galaxy, the crew sought to discover new life forms and uncover technological treasures. However, they faced an unexpected disaster. In the 5th month of their voyage, a sudden solar storm erupted, disabling all communication and navigation systems. Despite the captain's orders, the ship was pulled uncontrollably towards the surface of an unknown planet. Marcus lost consciousness after the explosion. When he woke, he was greeted by a pounding headache and bruises all over his body. As soon as he opened his eyes, he saw his loyal companion, Zeus, next to him. Zeus was licking Marcus's face and nudging him gently with his nose. "All right, boy, I'm okay, I think," Marcus groaned, holding his head in his hands. But as he looked around at the wreckage, the horrifying truth sank in. The rest of the crew must have been killed. The inside of the ship looked like a battlefield. Shattered consoles, scorched circuits, tools scattered everywhere, and offline electrical systems. Marcus stood up shakily and scanned his surroundings. Zeus quietly walked by his side, alert to everything. The tension in his muscles and his perked ears told Marcus that something was wrong. Marcus knew they had to leave the ship. Although he had no idea what awaited them outside, staying here meant death, whether from hunger, thirst, or another explosion. He packed a few survival supplies, water bottles, and an energy pistol into his bag. He attached a small light and signal transmitter to Zeus's collar, as they could easily lose each other in the darkness of this unknown planet. It was time to leave the safety of the ship. As they stepped outside, the sight that greeted them was eerie. The sky was covered in dark blue and red clouds. Massive, spiked mountains rose in the distance, while a reddish sun set behind them. The ground was black stone, and the air had a strange smell. Marcus whispered, "This planet, it smells like death." Zeus, however, began sniffing the surroundings, his senses on high alert. He was ready for anything. Zeus continued sniffing around like a hunting dog while Marcus scanned the area for signs of life. But the silence disturbed them. In this place where even the wind didn't blow, they could feel that something was off. After a while, Zeus stopped suddenly and pricked his ears. He began to growl. Marcus quickly knelt beside him, gripping his energy pistol tightly. "What's wrong, Zeus?" he asked, looking in the direction his dog had pointed out. There was nothing visible, but Zeus's reaction meant danger was near. Suddenly, a loud noise shattered the silence. To Marcus's right, a massive creature erupted from beneath the black earth. The beast stood on 4 legs, with terrifying claws and skin as tough as steel. Its long fangs dripped with venom, resembling a monster ready to strike. Marcus quickly fired his pistol, but the creature was so fast that his shots missed. As the creature charged at Marcus, Zeus leaped in its path with unexpected agility. The beast's glowing red eyes locked onto Zeus as it lunged, but the dog dodged its claws with incredible speed. Marcus took this chance to aim and fired a second shot. This time, it was a direct hit. The creature let out a pained roar and collapsed to the ground. Marcus lowered his pistol, breathing heavily. Zeus stood over the creature, watching it carefully. "Good job, boy," Marcus said, his hands trembling as he petted Zeus's head. But the fact that such a creature existed on this planet was a warning. More dangers surely awaited them. As Marcus and Zeus struggled to survive on the dangerous planet, they became more skilled with each passing day. However, the nights were particularly harsh and terrifying. When the sun set, the darkness unleashed the creatures hiding in the depths of the planet. Marcus had narrowly escaped death several times, thanks to Zeus's extraordinary instincts. His warnings had helped them detect hidden enemies. One night Marcus and Zeus set up camp in a small cave on a hill they had climbed. Marcus had built a small fire and was trying to eat one of the rations he had salvaged from the ship. Zeus kept watch at the entrance of the cave. The darkness of the night and the deep silence made Marcus uneasy. He sensed danger ahead, though he didn't know what it was yet. Zeus was constantly sniffing the air, checking the surroundings. Suddenly, Zeus began to growl. His fur stood on end, and his eyes were fixed on the darkness outside. Marcus quickly grabbed his weapon and shone his light toward the cave's entrance. He couldn't see anything. Just then, a strange rustling noise came from the forest. Something was moving in the darkness. "I don't know what's out there, Zeus, but it's definitely not good," Marcus muttered, keeping a close eye on his dog. Zeus suddenly bolted out of the cave, growling as he charged into the dark. Marcus turned his light in the direction Zeus was running, and what he saw made his hair stand on end. Several tall, slender creatures were emerging from the shadows of the forest. Their skin was smooth and pale, and their eyes gleamed as though they could pierce through the darkness. Marcus immediately aimed his energy pistol and fired. The first creature dropped to the ground under the force of the blast, but the others began charging toward them at great speed. Zeus lunged at one of the creatures, knocking it to the ground, while Marcus fired several more shots in quick succession. The creatures were fast, but Marcus and Zeus were faster. Marcus saw one creature leap directly at him, and he ducked just in time to avoid its claws. As the creature flew over his head, he turned quickly and shot it down. Zeus moved with incredible agility, jumping from attack to attack, targeting the creature's weak spots. Marcus noticed one of the creatures sneaking up behind Zeus as he brought another one down. "Zeus, watch out!" Marcus yelled. The dog spun around just in time, leaping onto the creature and sinking his teeth into its neck, bringing it down. But the creatures kept coming. Marcus, drenched in sweat, fired continuously, trying to protect Zeus. The number of creatures attacking them increased rapidly. Marcus was out of breath, but Zeus's determined growls kept him going. He trusted his dog's strength and resolve. They managed to push some of the creatures back, but Marcus realized these were intelligent beings. Their movements were coordinated and strategic. Something was directing them. For a moment, the battle seemed to pause. The creatures had retreated, giving Marcus and Zeus a chance to catch their breath. But Marcus knew this was only the calm before the storm. Something was watching them. Zeus sensed it too. His fur was still standing on end, and his eyes were locked on a point in the darkness. At that moment, Marcus saw a larger, more dangerous creature emerge from the shadows. This creature was far bigger and stronger than the others. It moved slowly, its eyes locked on Marcus and Zeus as if testing them. The creature paused, studying them with a spark of intelligence, as though waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Marcus gathered his energy and fired at the creature, but it moved so fast that Marcus missed. As the creature raised its massive claws and lunged at Marcus, Zeus darted forward, distracting it just in time. The creature swiped at Zeus, but the dog dodged with incredible agility, leaping to the side to avoid the blow. Marcus seized the opportunity and aimed for the creature's weak spot, firing directly at its heart. The creature staggered for a moment, then let out a painful scream and collapsed to the ground. Silence returned. Marcus, his hands trembling, lowered his weapon and knelt beside Zeus. He patted his dog's head and took a deep breath. "We're okay, boy. We did it," he said. But this was only the beginning. The intelligence and tactics of these creatures indicated that a far greater threat was lurking on this planet. Marcus now knew they were no longer alone. The dangers of this planet were far from over, but Marcus and Zeus knew they could overcome any challenge together. In the depths of space, the bond between human and dog was their most powerful weapon against the darkness. His energy pistol was nearly drained, and their food supplies were running low. He wasn't sure how much longer they could last. "We need to get out of here, Zeus," Marcus said, looking into his dog's eyes. Zeus, as if understanding his words, nodded slightly. Marcus checked his communication device. He had been trying to repair the signal transmitter salvaged from their shipwreck for a while, but sending out a strong enough signal to call for help from this dangerous planet would not be easy. With Zeus's help, Marcus began making his way back to the shipwreck. Half an hour later, they reached the wreckage. The ship was shattered and beyond use, but Marcus knew he had one last chance to repair the signal transmitter. Inside the wreckage, he began working with a few simple tools to reconnect the circuits and reactivate the power source. Zeus stood watch at the entrance once again, his fur bristling, eyes scanning the surroundings. Marcus worked quickly and carefully. Finally, the transmitter came back to life. A weak signal appeared on the screen. He could send out a distress call, but was the signal strong enough? Using everything he had, Marcus boosted the power to the maximum and pressed a button. "This is Marcus Drake. I'm stranded on an unknown planet as part of a crew from an exploration ship. I'm not alone. I'm with my dog. If you receive this message, we urgently need help. I repeat, this is a distress call." The signal spread out into the sky. For a moment, Marcus waited at the device with hope, but no response came. His heart started pounding. What if no one received the signal? What if they were stuck here forever? For a brief moment, despair crept in, but Zeus's gentle growl brought him back to his senses. His dog trusted him, and he had to trust Zeus. An hour passed. Then two. No sign of anything. Just then, Marcus saw a flash of light in the sky. What started as a small dot rapidly grew until the silhouette of a spacecraft appeared. "Oh my God! Someone got the signal!" Marcus exclaimed. Zeus barked excitedly. A voice echoed from the ship. "Marcus Drake, this is the United Galactic Fleet. We received your signal. A rescue ship is landing." Marcus and Zeus watched as the rescue ship descended toward them. The lights glowing in the darkness felt like the rebirth of their hopes. Soldiers quickly emerged from the ship, running toward Marcus and Zeus. "We've got you. Don't worry, you're safe now," one of them said. It was the sweetest thing Marcus had heard in days. "Don't forget about Zeus," Marcus said with a tired but joyful smile. Zeus happily ran toward the soldiers as Marcus's eyes filled with tears. At that moment, he knew they owed their survival to their bond of friendship. The soldiers carried Marcus and Zeus onto the ship. Soon they would be far from that dangerous planet, safe in the arms of the galaxy. The doors of the ship closed, and the rescue ship rapidly ascended into the atmosphere. Inside, Marcus took a deep breath and patted Zeus on the head. "We made it, boy," he said. Zeus responded by licking Marcus's hand. Marcus and Zeus might have been lost in the depths of the galaxy, but their friendship and resilience had become the most powerful weapon they could wield. Together, they knew they could survive anything the darkness of space threw at them, and now they were setting off on a new beginning. I hope you had a good time. If you liked my story, do not forget to comment and subscribe to my channel. Goodbye. See you in the next story.